people also dress up in costumes for this bridge run. So it's very exciting. Whoa. It's very exciting. People.
She got slapped in the.
Have you been naughty or nice?
Uh-oh. Put the. I disavow. So, good morning, guys. I'm James Hake. This is the Hake Report, and if you're listening to the show, you may be confused as opposed to just watching. Hopefully you were watching. But if you were listening to the show, I just at the top of the hour had Joelle play this clip of this news reporter, local news reporter from Georgia, who was reporting on a race, a fun little run race thing. People dressed up in costumes, I think she said. And she's a little too close to the runners, so they're like kind of waving their arms in front of her. I have a silent clip. I think clip B is the silent clip. We'll show this right now as I'm kind of describing it. You see people like waving their arms, thinking it's funny, and this guy, he just walks up and smacks her in the rear end, in the butt, if I can say that word. He hits her, and she's like shocked. And as Joelle says, mad. Joelle didn't write mad. He said something else, but we're not supposed to repeat that word, right? It's not nice. But yeah, this took place last week, I guess it was. And I saw it a few days ago, or a couple of days ago at least. And it was on like Canada's globalnews.ca website and other websites. And now People Magazine is putting it out. People Magazine is far left, pro-feminist. Reporter slams man who groped her on live TV. You violated, objectified, and embarrassed me, she said. And what did I say? She's some reporter, local reporter. And CBS News even brought her on in studio for an interview. They must have flown her because she's from Georgia, and I don't think the CBS News studio is in Georgia. But she went up there and did this whole interview about this incident, which really shouldn't be such a big story, but because feminism and hashtag Me Too and all this stuff is so big, they're taking her side and it's all viral and these women are making such a big deal about it. And she says, he took my power. Well, he did not. Would you call that groping? That was a smack. Like he smacked her hard. She said it stung and it hurt. But he's actually lawyered up, this man who did this. He's been banned from all future races, at least with this organization. Probably anybody who gets his name and face is going to ban him, right? Because a lot of companies want to be politically correct, and it is no longer politically correct to smack people, especially women, on their butts. And so I have another version of this video that was put out on Twitter. I think this black young mother recorded it watching it on her TV. So her son, I think, is making all these funny noises. But let's just play part C just to show it to you guys, where you can see a little bit more footage at the very beginning of how these people are even like scaring her because they're like waving their arms right in front of her, just trying to get on the TV. And play part C. Look, you see how she like flinched.
Not expecting that.
She's getting nervous. That's her son. And then shocked.
It's very exciting. People.
Yeah. So and then at the beginning of the show I said I disavow because I don't support. I never liked when men hit each other in the butts, and you see that on like football and baseball and stuff like that. But all her little feminists came out, as Joelle said. And she's like early 20s probably, raised quite feminist. And she tweeted about it. She posted on Instagram about it. She posted the original clip on Instagram about it. Now her Instagram's private. But you look at her Instagram, which is now private, but she was at one point, like for Halloween, posing with male stripper-looking guys or male dancer types. And but the difference is like, oh, she can dress and act and be like a little so-called slutty type of person, but that's her own consent, right? That's her own of her own volition. Her power was taken away from her. So exactly, people do it in football, people do it in baseball, women do it to men do that to women. And this guy that did it, he said, I'm a husband, I'm a father. I don't expect any criminal charges against me because I didn't have any criminal intent. And he smacked her hard, but that's all the more reason to think that he was just being playful, because otherwise he would have like grabbed or something, right? I don't know. Not to be too explicit. But they called it groping. I don't really consider that. Would you consider that groping? People call it groping.
I don't know if I would consider it groping, but I don't know if he should have done it.
Right.
In fact, I don't think he should have done it, especially with not only the fact that stuff that's going on, but it's just not appropriate.
Yeah. A lot of people don't play like that. People don't like that. And less so now than ever. And yeah, he shouldn't have done that.
I just kind of picture if I was doing a news report and then it was a gay run. And
or a woman.
Right. Smack my I kind of would have been like, what the?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But he shouldn't have criminal charges against him. That's like overboard.
I agree with that.
Yeah. Yeah, so she shouldn't have done that, but he shouldn't have done that, but she's a brainwashed feminist, and you can't cross any lines nowadays. So she wouldn't even say that she wouldn't bring charges against him. She filed a police report about it, and so whatever. Let me quickly get to Anthony out of Chicago, Illinois, see what Anthony says about this, and then I'll get to more stories for you guys. Anthony, what's up?
Okay.
Anthony from Chicago. I don't think he's ready. Anthony's not ready. But, speaking of this, let me just jump over to this other story about, speaking of young brainwashed feminists. I have some comments about this Miss Universe woman who was a winner from South Africa. It's kind of odd that he's from South Africa. And then I will get back to Anthony to talk about this this butt slap. I don't even like that word. According to NPR, they did this feature on this black South African woman winning Miss Universe. And I have some headlines from her and tweets and stuff like that. And she's supposedly all about, quote unquote, black girl magic. So that's those black radical feminists brainwashing even the young pretty girls to be all about feminism, really. She tweeted, "Tonight was a door opened. Her name is Zozibini Tunzi. Zozi Tunzi, something like that." And she tweeted a photo of herself as Miss Universe, whatever. And said, "Tonight a door was opened and I could not be more grateful to have been the one to walk through it. May every little girl who witnessed this moment forever believe in the power of her dreams, and may they see their faces reflected in mine. I am #Miss Universe 2019. It reminds me kind of when Barack Obama became president. Now the little black boys can dream of becoming president, and it be realistic type crap, I guess. In 2019, Essence tweeted, Essence is a black female magazine, feminist, tweeted aren't they black? Maybe they're not. Maybe they're just, are they black?
I don't know.
Essence?
I don't know.
But it is a feminist magazine, mainstream, been out there forever, far left. In 2019, Miss America, Miss Teen USA, Miss USA, and Miss Universe are all black women. Excuse us, we're getting emotional. Heart, eyes, and crying face. What is it? Oh, those are Getty images, by the way. Sorry. But whatever. I don't like to share Getty images because they're greedy with their stuff. So, yeah, NPR headline, Black Girl Magic, outspoken, young, gifted, and outspoken believer in black girl magic. And I just happened to come across this quote from her about climate change. Since 6th grade, I've been learning that the climate is deteriorating and the planet is dying, and it's up to us to keep our planet safe, she said. So she didn't get educated past 6th grade. I did not learn this in 6th grade. Call me a boomer, call me Gen X, call me Gen Y, millennial, but I didn't get taught this crap in 6th grade. But now you have dummies like this, younger people, Nick was, and especially he Canadian, and this South African woman, communist country basically, right? African National Congress, ANC, and everybody to their left are communist or communist friendly, anti-white, anti-America, basically. So they're pushing all that mess. I was going to get back to Anthony, but he hung up. But I just noticed that they are brainwashed, and they're taught this stuff, and they never question it. And then you make an army of little minions who will go lynch any teacher or any president or anybody who's not supporting the propaganda that they've learned and they've clung to. You just notice it with the racism thing, climate change thing, so-called, feminism nonsense, all that mess. I've gotten into arguments with guys that I say something about blacks or Mexicans that happens to be true generally, and like Asians and whites and others get like crazy mad at me. Like crazy. And these are educated people usually that went to places like UCLA to get indoctrinated in favor of the gays. Yeah, with the gay thing, they also get insanely mad at me too. So, I don't know. People don't really believe in thinking, like Jesse Lee Peterson says, thinking for themselves. Which I really don't believe there is such thing, almost, as thinking for yourself, because people are either blind or they're not. They either are inclined to question or they're not, and they really can't think for themselves. They're either, I don't know, Satan thinking for them. And everybody has, like, I don't know, it's crazy. But let me get back to Anthony. He called back out of Chicago, Illinois. Anthony, first-time caller, thanks for calling.
Yeah, I'm on the air.
Yes.
I'm talking to you now, but it's for some reason, I don't understand why it's someone else saying stuff that's not pertaining to what me and you are talking about.
Oh, I don't know, man. Are you talking about?
It's like it's behind,
Yeah. Hey, listen, Anthony. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about the video. There's like a delay. And maybe you're watching like a YouTube video, like you're watching Jesse or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I was on Jesse.
Right. Don't worry about it.
I heard what he's saying.
Yeah. Anyways, man.
So what I do? Just keep talking.
Talk to me. Don't be talking to the video.
Oh, don't talk to the video. Talk to you.
Yeah.
And then it'll stream through. Okay.
Right.
I didn't know what was going on. Because I was like, how am I talking to you? I'm done.
Right on. How old are you, if you don't mind my asking?
I'm 40.
Oh, right on. Gen X.
Yeah, I'm 40, man.
Yeah.
Been up here for a while. I'm in Chicago. Just But I don't shoot. You almost made me forget what y'all was talking about. 'Cause I was like, what
Yeah,
in the world
I
is going-
jumped topics because I wanted to talk about how both of these young ladies, probably both in their early 20s, are
They're
brainwashed
African.
in this
They're
feminist.
They're not black. They're African women.
Well, this one, I think the reporter who got slapped, I think she's like Armenian. She has like an Armenian last name.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, her. But I was you had
Latina.
jumped all the way to the African people who won the most beautiful women or something
Right.
like that.
Yeah.
I
Right.
personally don't watch stuff like that, but
I don't blame you.
I just heard you say that. But yeah, so I don't know. I think we're in the downfall because of different things. You know, up here it's kind of rough up here. You know, where I live at.
Yeah,
Kinda rough
I
up
would say
here,
so.
You know,
I would say it's quite rough in Chicago.
But I think we bringing it on ourselves though. I don't think it's a white man, a
Right.
white man doing this to us. You know.
Yeah,
I don't
you're right about
believe in
that.
I don't believe in that. He ain't doing shit. What are you doing? He ain't never come over here. I don't know see nothing over there.
I know. Yeah, it is ridiculous. People are always complaining.
I'm a school teacher myself,
Nice.
so it's like you have an opportunity to succeed.
Yeah,
you
definitely.
just don't want to.
I know. That is very true,
Just
man.
don't
People
want
don't
to.
realize they're blind to the opportunities that they have. And they're blind too to the fact that these things that they're so concerned about are really not that big of a deal. This climate change stuff,
Right.
this feminism stuff being spanked on live TV. Yeah, you
Get
can
spanked,
complain about it
girl.
a little.
You know you like it. Get spanked every now and then.
Right. You played football in high school?
It's crazy.
Anthony, did you play football in high school?
Yeah, well, I had a baseball scholarship.
Okay.
And, you know, we did the same thing. It was the same
Right.
thing. You get a good hit, you know, somebody comes knock you on your ass.
Right.
I mean, but it was nothing. It wasn't like it was a big deal. Even the volleyball players
Right.
in college where I went, they do it all the time.
Right.
It's not no big deal.
Yep.
And for her to make that into a big deal after she's supposed to be in some kind of race, I didn't think that was appropriate. I just didn't feel like, what's the problem?
Yeah, you know, I think it's enticing because it did go viral, and she is already brainwashed to be all feminist about it. And yeah, she can complain and say, I didn't like that, don't do that again, and stuff like that, but she's dramatizing it.
But that is as far as it should go, though.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You should be trying to go, I want him locked up in jail, and I want him, I'm going to sue him and all this stuff. Girl, if you don't get that butt smacked every now and then.
To be honest, the video is funny. I mean, I sympathize with like not wanting to get hit.
Cause I saw it, and I was like, that ain't he didn't mean no harm.
Right.
And he was just it was just like a race, you know, it's just like them running and then he, you know, it wasn't no big deal to me.
Yeah.
To me, it wasn't.
I
don't
agree.
know. She took it the wrong way.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, definitely.
But then she got her own opinion.
Yep. Yeah,
So,
definitely.
you know, they have their own opinion. They have their opinion of what they want to do and how they think about things.
And you know what? On top of it all, she's getting all this attention. She's not going to turn down all that attention. She's going to drama it up and play it up and squeeze as much notoriety as she can about it. She loves this right now.
They gonna film him. They gonna show his face. They gonna annihilate him.
And
That's what
society
they gonna
doesn't
do.
encourage forgiveness. And she probably, her lawyer probably told her not to forgive him on air. You know, who knows?
Right.
Because she's like, do you agree with him when he said that I don't expect charges against me, or his lawyer said that on his behalf? And she's all, well, and she would not answer the question. I watched this CBS News interview with her. I don't want to share too much of CBS footage with you guys, but she was like not wanting to forgive. And she's all, well, he took my power away from me, and I want to take my power back by getting hit in the... So ridiculous. Anyways, Anthony, I appreciate you, man.
Power.
Thank you for calling.
You look like some power.
Yeah. I didn't know that's where your power was. But anyways, maybe it is.
She'd be all right. She needed that smack.
I appreciate it, Anthony. Take care, man.
All right, brother.
All right. So, let me get to Rick out of Hampton, Virginia. Rick, how are you doing?
James, what's up, my brother? How you doing?
Not much. I'm doing fine.
Man, I tell you, man, these liberals, I mean, they're waiting for this impeachment trial.
Oh, you know what? I think that it's a joke. And especially, I was looking at, who's that lady that says, impeach 45, the Wicked Witch of the West with the low IQ?
Maxine Waters.
Exactly.
The one that has all her people in low-income housing, she stays in a mansion.
Right. Yep, with the $4 million home.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was up there standing right next to Shifty Adam Schiff and acting like she's important and all that mess. So and she's been pushing for impeachment along with that other black guy, Al Green, pushing articles of impeachment.
Carolina.
I forget where he's from.
These beta men, and like I said too, James, it's a shame how most blacks are. I mean, they just grab onto evil, anything. I mean, for anything, man. Just
right.
Half of them don't even know the Democratic Party agenda. They have, if you go look at their agenda, they have some big complicated words.
Yeah.
You get a simple form of what they stand for.
Yeah, I was thinking about how Barack Obama should have been impeached for Fast and Furious. Yeah. The Tea Party being harassed by the IRS scandal.
Yeah.
The Fast and Furious was when they were gun running with Mexico and they ended up killing a border agent with our guns that Eric Holder was running. And so these people are corrupt. And what did Obama do? He declared executive privilege. That's called stonewalling Congress. Same thing that Trump didn't even do that. But they weren't going to impeach a black man. And only the honest people said it, especially a black liberal. So, and these people these intellectual so-called journalist types or media critics are acting like Trump broke the law and there's not a both sides thing. They're right. Trump did nothing wrong. These people are the ones who are wrong. I mean, Trump does some things that are wrong, such as maybe with this First Step Act. That might have been wrong, or I think it was wrong. But in general, all the stuff that they're complaining about, they're the ones who are guilty of doing what they're accusing him of doing. Colluding, being politically motivated. That's all that this is, this impeachment thing. They hate Trump.
Every time they bring that Ukraine up, I shine that light on Joe Biden so much.
Yeah.
the brighter time I shine that light on me, I shine that 100-watt bulb on Joe Biden and Hunter Biden.
Yeah, and Joe Biden is not just a political opponent. And he wasn't even yet a political opponent. He was Obama's vice president. And he's always been a major joke, but always quite corrupt and phony. Pretended to be on the side of women and blacks, and against guns. He said, the only thing that he's pro-gun about is if you see it have an intruder, just shoot a couple of shotgun rounds into the air, and that'll scare him away.
Man, you in my house, you going to get that round embedded in you somewhere.
Sometimes it doesn't even take that. It just takes racking the gun, but... Yeah, anyways.
Absolutely. And believe it or not, capital punishment. There's nothing wrong with that. That's God ordained. If somebody maliciously kills somebody in a robbery and there's solid evidence, they don't even need a trial, to be honest.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, he's on videotape killing the store clerk, shooting on her head. And why do you need
What are you talking about?
2-year court? No, I'm saying like capital punishment.
Oh.
You know, how the liberals are against that.
Right.
That's God ordained. And they're against it only for what? It's inhumane.
They only want to kill innocent people.
Yeah. The jailers for punishment first. Not something to let somebody get a degree in there.
Yeah.
You know, balance it. That's after you do your punishment. You know, I don't mind rehabbing people when they go to jail, but the number one reason you were there for is punishment.
Right.
To get you a degree.
Yep. So true.
If you don't like
Rick.
it in there, stay out of there.
Yeah. Man, I appreciate it, Rick. Good to hear from you.
You too, there, James. The Hake report. La, la, la. I love you, brother. Keep up the good work.
All right. You too, man. Let's get to... Oh. I was about to get to somebody who I thought might be Mays out of Dayton, Ohio, but it might not have been Mays, but they hung up. I'm going to get to more of your calls, but first let me talk about this thing that's going on. Did I finish all this stuff? So let me just briefly go over this reporter girl thing. Did her name... Okay. Alexandriana, something like that? Bazargian. That sounds Armenian to me. But yeah, I think she might be mixed with Latina. That she was the WSAV TV reporter who got hit, and then that was on the End Market Savannah Bridge Run in Georgia. Reporter slapped at race. He took my power during her live TV report at a race. Alex for short, right? Bazargian. Isn't that, yeah, that's totally Armenian, right? Reminds me of another Armenian, Kanye's wife, Mrs. West. Proud Latina, she calls herself on IG, Instagram, which is private now. The video has been viewed more than 10 million times. You can see one male runner moving behind her and appearing to slap her on the butt. They even said butt. Bazargian joined CBS this morning to share her side of the story. She was in disbelief when the man helped himself to a part of my body. Such drama. You violated, objectified, and embarrassed me. She tweeted it out and she posted it on Instagram. And if she's that embarrassed, she shouldn't have been tweeting it out and posting it on Instagram. So, yeah. No, I don't think she's married. I think that she looks Armenian to me, to be honest. She looks mixed, maybe. Anyways, feminist, brainwashed. Young ladies are set up. It's no wonder guys are going MGTOW and incel and all that stuff. But that's pathetic too. You know this USMCA thing? And then I will get to your calls. Maybe her father died recently. Maybe she does. Maybe she is a little separated. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, it is better to identify. It is better socially to identify as Mexican or Latina than Armenian, because the Hispanics are the Latinos and Latinas have more political power and more sway in the media and everything else. Armenians can't even get their genocide recognized. And they do identify with Democrats too, I've noticed. Over in Glendale, there was like these Armenian politicians banning this Glendale gun show a few years back. Jason Lee Peterson spoke at one of the city council meetings. I spoke there too. I was like, I'm not going back to Glendale. I'm going to boycott this city if you guys end this Glendale gun show. Because they're pushing about this stupid gun show loophole. You know, liberal stuff. Anyways, this USMCA, I think it's getting signed or got signed today. Tuesday. Trump sent his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, down to Mexico along with another American U.S. Trade Representative Robert Lighthizer, senior White House advisor Jared Kushner, his son-in-law, Ivanka's husband. I wonder how she's not Ivanka Kushner as opposed to Ivanka Trump. Feminist, liberal. She's Jewish too now instead of Christian. Canadian Deputy Prime Minister, Chrystia Freeland, are expected to be in Mexico City today, Tuesday, for a signing ceremony. But this U.S.-Mexico trading agreement, I reported it in Hake News at the top of hour 3, but I got kind of cut off at the end there. So it's to replace NAFTA, right? And NAFTA, all the anti-globalists, the nationalists, do not like NAFTA. But I don't know if the USMCA if that makes the USMCA good. Because, listen to this, 75% of auto parts must be made in the US, Canada, or Mexico in order to avoid tariffs, right? If it's under 75%, you're going to get tariffed. 40 to 45% of automobile parts must be made by workers who earn at least $16 an hour by 2023. So it's like increasing a minimum wage. Artificially, I'm not for artificial minimum wages. They should get rid of minimum wage and let the cost of living and cost of doing business go down. That's what I think. And I didn't read this part, but the deal was endorsed by the union, AFL-CIO labor union. And supposedly it's a relief for American farmers as well, because they're going to get, I don't know, they're going to get helped by this, I guess. According to people, farmers for free trade, something like that. And so I'm not sure it was endorsed by a bunch of Democrats. But Bill Clinton, in fairness, did the NAFTA agreement, North American Free Trade Agreement. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, I think that was part of what happened to Detroit, besides the decline in moral character of the black community in that area and other areas around the country. Detroit became a ghetto. It went from being like one of the top cities in the nation, manufacturing cars like crazy, to closing down plants, partly due to globalism. And I think it might have been partly due to this NAFTA thing. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Let me know. And that idea was originated, this North American stuff, U.S., Mexico, Canada, making this free trade between these three countries, supposedly, with Bush, and actually before him, George H.W. Bush, the daddy, who died, who didn't vote for Trump, even though he's a Republican. Rhino, huh? What a shame. What a way to end your life. And even Ronald Reagan was for this. And people like Reagan. At least a lot of conservatives like him. And a whole lot of establishment Republicans pretend to like and respect him too. I wonder if that's real. A lot of them pretend to like Trump too. But maybe it's because they're more establishment friendly than we realize. Trump and Reagan. Maybe this was a mistake on Reagan's part. I know that a lot of the more nationalistic alt-right types, Groipers and others, really don't like Reagan. They say that he was, especially because he was instrumental in bringing not only no-fault divorce in California when he was, I think he was a Democrat governor. Was he a Republican or Democrat at that point? I don't know. You guys probably know better than me. But anyways, he switched from being Democrat to Republican, saying the Democrat Party left me. But anyways, he gave us an amnesty with the false understanding that we were going to enforce the border after that in the 80s, right? He didn't give us, he gave America a black eye in the form of amnesty by giving illegal aliens the right to stay here. What a shame. He was suckered, but that's still his fault. He may have been a really good president, I don't know. Because I was a kid growing up, I liked him because I was a kid. And he seemed like a good guy. My parents liked him, my dad. Anyways, I used to, to the black's point about having somebody who looks like you as president, I used to think that he looked like my dad. Oliver North looked like my dad, who is another guy in the Reagan administration. Now he's like this guy that used to do war stories on Fox News. I just used to think they all looked the same, and my grandpa too, on my dad's side. Anyways, whatever. So I don't know if this USMCA is a good thing. I know that Trump does really want to look out for the country and make good deals that are good for America. And so I think that it's probably very likely way better than NAFTA. But I don't like some of these liberal values and the fact that the Democrats are for it. I guess you have to give a lot or a little in order to get a little or a lot. He probably had to give a lot when he made these deals with the spending. He gave up the wall because Paul Ryan told him he shouldn't have done that. I don't know. And he gave a lot in order to get the military funded again because Obama depleted the military, according to even that conservative guy who got investigated by the Obama administration. He's Indian. Dinesh D'Souza. Dinesh D'Souza did this documentary about Obama, 2016 Obama's America, something like that, and said that Obama really depleted the military, our nuclear warheads and all those things, our ships. It was just pathetic. Meanwhile, he was introducing the LGBTQ stuff into the military. I think the liberals are very naive. They think that, oh, we're in a modern time, peace on earth type stuff. We're more peaceful than ever. And meanwhile, there is no peace. It's just a false peace. Because everybody's on drugs and pot and pornography and gays and sex out of wedlock, all that mess. Just keep the people fat and spoiled and happy while you just rot the country. Rot the people morally while you rot the military and everything else. Anyways, I'm going to get to this woman childbearing thing because there was an ABC News so-called doctor who lied about pregnancies and having kids and stuff regarding women, even in the midst of them revealing some important truth about women and pregnancy. So I'll get to that, but let me get to some calls first. Tianki out of Louisiana, first-time caller. Did I pronounce your name right?
Yeah, you done good.
Nice.
Send you your check.
Thank
the
you.
old saying, real quick.
Yeah.
John F. Kennedy put a man on the moon. Barack Obama put a man in the women's bathroom.
Yeah.
But
some disagree about the JFK thing. They don't think that he really did it. Did you know that's a growing trend that they don't believe that the moon landing happened?
Yeah, you can't disagree with Barack Obama.
Yeah,
hey, look,
that's true.
Are you
it's even
aware
worse.
of the number of undocumented immigrants that buy homes in the U.S.?
I am not aware of that. Meaning illegal aliens, right?
Marketplace has an article on it. I think NPR did too, but I'm not sure with them. And what they use the I-10 number. Now, this article is in 2017, and I know about the I-10 number. You have to fill out a W-7 IRS form in order to get one.
Okay.
Or if you go to H&R Block and do your taxes, they can apply for it for you. But the I-10 number is the individual tax identification number, and it's for those who can't get Social Security cards.
Interesting.
The IRS can keep track of your income.
Wow.
Now, listen to this.
That means illegals.
Illegals and undocumented not supposed to be working in the country anyway. Secondly, we're talking about millions of people. They say at least 34%, which we're talking about close to 4 million. Another thing, once you close on a house and you have those documents, the promissory note, and so on and so on and so on, it shows you that you're the owner of a residence within a area.
Yeah.
You can take those papers and go register to vote.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure.
Then you can get a driver's license.
Yep. Yeah, I know.
Now,
it's crazy.
Is that part of the difference in the popular vote that people constantly talk about in the 2016 election that Hillary Clinton supposedly have had over Donald Trump?
I don't know because the media refuses to really look into it closely because they are on the side of the Democrats and they like to just dismiss things as conspiracy theories rather than look into them seriously. And so I really don't know. It may well be. There are a lot of ways to vote illegally, not just illegal aliens voting, but it is so open to being abused, it is not even funny. And if it's open to being abused, do you really believe that they're not going to abuse it? Please. Of course there's
it is.
rampant voter fraud. And the point is not to get caught. So of course you're not going to get a whole lot of instances. And a whole lot of poll workers, by the way, are Democrats.
And that information is from the Migration Policy Institute, which is on their website, and also Marketplace have an article on it. But I'm from Missouri.
Yeah.
My driver's license expire on my birthday,
Yep.
which is in the latter days of the month. In the first of the month, they send you out a application to renew your driver's license. Okay?
Yeah.
So I go and renew my driver's license, and they let me keep the old driver's license because they're going to send a new one out in the mail. In the meantime, I relocate to another state. I get a driver's license there. All right? They take my old driver's license and punch holes in it, and they give me a new driver's license of that state. In the meantime, my driver's license from my previous state comes in the mail just before my birthday. Now I got two driver's licenses, and I can vote with that document in either state.
Wow. That's awful. Yeah, it's so open. Like I said, it's so open to corruption. You could have somebody on your behalf. Hey, I'm Tianki such and such from Louisiana, or I'm from the other state that you were in.
All you have to do is show a driver's license. In some states,
sometimes you don't even have to. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You know what you can show?
Most of the time.
An old utility bill.
You don't have to show anything to vote. You just say,
Well,
you just show them the ballot. In some cases, well, I would just show up with the ballot and show them my name and address. You know, the ballot thing that you get in the mail, and with the information about
them. If you don't get it in the mail, you can pick it out of somebody's trash can
right
on the block.
Yeah.
Take it to the polling place and show them that utility bill, a piece of mail. They cross-reference it in a book. The lady turned to the page where it matches the name in the book. She turns the book around to you after she had put an X and say, sign right here.
Right.
Well, how do you know to match the signature?
Yep.
Well, the signature of the person that matches that address is right there in front of your eyes. Just
Yeah.
copy it.
Right. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. So voter fraud does go on tremendously.
Yeah, I'm not.
Anyway,
I wouldn't doubt
to
it.
put that out there. Thank you very much.
Appreciate that, Tianki. Thank you, man. Yeah, and he mentioned I-10s. I know about I-9s because the illegal aliens that I worked with at a prior job, suspected illegals, who ended up having totally different names. Like they went from Hector or Ernesto or Nick to like Oscar or Juan or Hugo. And the last name's totally changed too. It is like Nicolas. It is a mess. And totally different last names, totally different first names. And you're like, I've known you for years as such and such. How come you're coming back on Facebook or whatever, or contacting me as such and such else? And I remember California DMV had some interesting controversies recently. I don't remember what they were, but there's a whole lot of dead people voting. There's computer fraud, all kinds of mess. So I don't buy the media's naivety, if you want to call it that, corruption about that stuff. It is shady. And with I-9s, it makes you as far as the employer knows and the government, to be honest, you are legal. You're not an illegal. But they can get the I-9 somehow. But that's all you need to verify, okay, the employer's off the hook. So there's a lot of employers who employ illegals who are legally documented. So you can't call them undocumented. They're documented, fraudulently documented. Anyways, Eddie out of Kentucky, first-time caller. Eddie, how are you?
Good morning. All is well.
Morning.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
I got a response back. I listened to your show and I always learn something. And I found out today why I was so bad in basketball in 5th grade.
Why?
Every time we went onto the court, my coach would hit me on the butt.
Oh, he
was taking my power from me. I couldn't do anything. So
That's funny.
I thought that was good, but now I realize why.
Yeah.
Because I was white and I couldn't jump. But really, he was stealing my power.
Man, you need to go take your power back from your coach. You need to hashtag me to him.
Oh, I think he's probably dead now because I'm like 50 plus. But another thing, I was thinking, man, would I rather get slapped on the butt as in support, or would I rather get my hair stroked and my hair sniffed by Joe Biden?
I don't know, man.
I wonder if he's stealing people's power too by cutting the hair and getting real close.
That's a good question. He might be. You know, when people touch you, like they talk about the power of touch. People live longer when they get physical contact. It is like a charming thing. A lot of politicians and bosses will grab your shoulder, rub your shoulder, make you feel, you're being loved on by a parent or something like that. So-called love.
Yeah, there is like a connection they try to do with, I guess to make you feel
that really
guard probably. But
yeah, it is It is in a sense stealing your power. Like it ingratiates you with them. Yeah.
So I was kind of joking more about the power deal.
I know.
The runner stole her power at all, but
yeah,
but I don't know if they'll go anywhere with that. But I do think Joe Biden will win the Democrat nomination.
Oh, you think so?
The other. Oh, absolutely. It's all money. Democrat Party's all. Well, both of them is about money, but it's also about control. And Joe's the only one they can do control over. The other ones, they're kind of scared as heck.
Oh.
But if Bloomberg can convince that he will listen to the Democrat Party more than Joe is going to be out.
No, Bloomberg doesn't have a chance. Joe Biden, as silly and crazy as he acts, he has way more, let's say, people skills than boring old Bloomberg. I know that he was mayor of New York, but he can't. As far as I've seen, he's like boring. And Joe Biden is at least entertaining.
I do agree. Yeah. I do agree. I'm not saying I like it.
Right.
But I think,
I know.
I think the Democrat Party can control Joe, but and that's kind of what they had with Hillary. I mean, look at Hillary.
Right.
He knew she was a lame duck.
Yep.
And Bernie Sanders, he's out there, but even though he got all the, she got the nomination. Hillary did. So it's whoever will bow down and serve them.
Right. That's a good point, man.
The winner, and the other ones are too out there on their own little Facebook, cutting their own throats by how radical they are. So
that's a fair point.
I don't know. I think we can't cut Bloomberg out.
Yeah.
Because I think if he can dump the millions in ads, people believe stuff. People believe advertisements and commercials.
I've never really believed that necessarily. Yes, the media and these advertisements and stuff do sway some people, but I would say, like, I've heard it said that the media has the power to sway the audience, say, against Trump by 10%, right? Or against whatever, or for whatever, in like 10%, because people still, for some reason, give credibility to the media. And they actually believe that the media is right when they're, like, casting negative things about Trump or positive things about the Democrats. But I think that people really see how the person is, and either they fall for that person or they don't. And so I don't know.
I guess it would not be everybody, maybe most, whatever. But it kind of goes down to like 4 out of 5 dentists approve Crest.
Right.
And people go for Crest.
Yeah.
And it's a big seller. So, and then like it's kind of like your toothpaste. Once you stick with it, you don't end up.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's how the blacks are with a lot of these people, because they don't really know Pete Buttigieg. If he were well established, long established, they'd be voting for him, even though he is gay. All right, appreciate it, Eddie. Thank you, man.
Pretty callers. All right, thank you. Have a good day.
Yeah, you as well. Yeah. Take care. So, let me quickly get to this woman childbearing thing. I told you about. Oh, I forgot to give you Stefan Molyneux's tweet, Joel. I wonder if I have it here. Yes. I'm going to give it to Joel, but in the meantime, I've heard these reports. Bubs gave me the tip first. Happy birthday, Bubs, love. Should I sing to Bubs, love? I wonder if I should. Maybe I should while I'm pulling this up. Bubs, love. This, and I don't really have my own version of my own song, so I'm going to be a mini Jesse. Bubs, love. This song is for you. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to Bubs. Happy birthday. That's cool. 40. That's cool. Right on. And I disavowed Jesse's comments. Jesse said that. Anyway, whatever. I'm too embarrassed to repeat it. But let me give you guys. I put it in the general folder, Joel, of James Transfer. This screenshot. I took a screenshot of a tweet. This has nothing to do with Bubs, all right? I took a screenshot of this tweet, but he did tell me this. That Stefan Molyneux tweeted, he's a philosopher, Jesse Lee Peterson fan, I can't believe that Taylor Swift is about to turn 30. She still looks so young. I reported this in the third hour, right? Top of third hour Hake News of Jesse's show, Jesse Lee Peterson. It's strange to think that 90% of her eggs are already gone. Well, statistically speaking, probably on average. 97% are gone by the time she turns 40. So I hope she thinks about having kids before it's too late. She'd be a fun mom. And then she said mom. Should have said mother, right? But anyways, he's just playing. And had this smiley face. And then below that, he tweeted out an ABC News Good Morning America article. It's pretty mainstream media, liberal, that says, for women, the headline reads, for women who want kids. All women probably should, seems like most do. The sooner the better. 90% of eggs are gone by age 30, according to a new study. And I said, not to mention common sense, that the earlier the better. So the women who put off childbearing too long say they want an education, they want career, they want to be established, they want to have a home, they want to be financially stable. And men fall for, beta males, right, fall for this mess too. And, like a lot of us are part of the problem. I don't have any kids. But I've heard, by the way, I heard this other reporter and YouTuber, Vincent James, who's been on the Jesse Lee Peterson show of Red Elephants. He tries not to be a hypocrite. He has kids. He's Catholic. But he says, go ahead and do it. Don't worry. It doesn't cost as much as you're thinking. And Jesse Lee Peterson says the same thing. God will take care of you. Don't be worried about all that mess. And so it is a setup. This feminism thing, women working, women getting their education is a setup. It's making women more unhappier. That's bad. More unhappy than ever, or unhappier than ever. And they are. I think Stefan Molyneux also has in the past cited a study that says women are more depressed than ever before, or at least than in recent history, meaning the past several decades at least. So that was a study published by the University of St. Andrews and Edinburgh University in Scotland. found that women have lost 90% of their eggs by the time they're 30, only 3% remaining by the time they're 40. So, and it declines more rapidly than scientists thought previously. So here's the part that I wanted to talk about. This Dr. Marie Savard, she's like a contributor for ABC's Good Morning America. She said that stopping smoking, keeping your weight down, controlling stress, maybe dropping anger should be the right word, can all slow down the loss of fertility. But women who have more pregnancies are fertile longer. I don't know if that's causation or correlation, right? I don't know if having more pregnancies, having more kids more frequently makes you last longer as a woman, or if it just correlates because they just happen to have more. I don't know. And some women are born with more eggs than others, right? So Savard seemingly contradicts herself by saying that birth control pills do not in any way affect a woman's fertility or egg count. Liar. I think that maybe well, for one, that's not a politically correct thing to say. I mean, this study is not politically correct either, but it's like beyond a shadow of a doubt. But for one, it is very in vogue to be taking birth control pills, which are actually abortion pills in some cases. I learned, according to a caller that I heard say that in some cases they do get conceived and then they're aborted, meaning killed by the so-called birth control pill. It doesn't just prevent conception. In some cases, it allows conception and then kills the conception, meaning the child. So that's just a side note. That's what I learned from a caller. That's just what I heard. I don't know if it's true or not, but it seems logical to believe that. But she's claiming that even if you're on the pill for a long period of time, that doesn't influence your fertility, she said. Well, if it's causation to have more pregnancies as opposed to just correlation, making somebody fertile longer, making a woman fertile longer, men or not, then that would seem to contradict about taking the pill for a long time because you haven't had more pregnancies during the time, usually, that you're taking the pill. So she's corrupt. I'm thinking she's lying. I'm thinking that she wants to encourage people to be taking birth control because a lot of people do, one, for their own selfish desires, seeking a career or money, making more money, not having to have a baby and deal with all that stuff. But she just said more pregnancies means longer fertility. If you won't have more pregnancies on the pill. Many people, I've known anecdotes, and anecdotal evidence is evidence of people who have had a hard time. One of my coworkers who was not an illegal alien, he said that his sister was on the pill, and it took her a long time after getting off the pill to be able to make a baby. So that seems to call into question her claim that the pill doesn't affect anything. I suspect a corrupt agenda. Maybe she's being paid by these people, but it's not always just money. It's also very unpopular to criticize the taking of the abortion pill. I mean, the contraception pill. And maybe you guys have your own stories of women in your lives who have taken the pills and then had a hard time getting pregnant. Now, I wonder if they just don't want to look at that. They don't want to tell the truth about it. I think that that's the case. So it's just a society being corrupt, encouraging people. They also believe in overpopulation. I even have so-called conservative friends who believe in overpopulation, causing a strain on the environment and the natural resources of the world. Socialism, communism, globalism, those things deplete more than population. Anyways, guys, I'll see you tomorrow on the Jesse Lee Peterson Show and the Hake Report. It is Tuesday, tomorrow is Wednesday for Manhood Hour and other stuff. We have some cool things lining up to show you guys, and so look out for that. Go to rebuildingtheman.com, support on the building fund, appreciate it, and watch yourselves. It's a good advice that Jesse says. I think I agree with it. All right, guys, take care.